Alright, hello everyone. Thank you for coming back to my channel. So today I'm just going to go over the trade that I took today. I struggled today. Today, I got played. But I got a good play. So let me show you something here. So, as usual, the first trade that I took was based off of my watch list. And of course, it respected the new lines that I created because of that tariff news yesterday. I need to create more new lines because obviously there's more here. And yeah, I took a trade off that, you know, just to see if my lines were working properly. Let's head on to what the trade that mattered today, which was SPY in our candlestick. No, not the candlestick. Was it the candlestick that I used? No, so, okay. So, the first one that I used actually was my Heikin-Ashi candles at first. So, let me just actually, you know what? Forget that move. Okay, forget that move. Let's just head on to the candlestick. Let's go down to the candlestick and see what I actually did here. So, let me clear everything here out. What I did, let's go to bar replay. You know, I do trade Heikin-Ashi candles, but I also trade with normal candlesticks, and that's just because I want to confirm the two. I just want to, you know, have a confirmation of both of them. So, we see here, market open. I start looking for demand opportunities because price is now below VWAP. And just this itty bitty demand right here is a backup demand, you know? So... I spot a clear, beautiful demand zone right here, and this is when I start looking for some inputs. But this is where the greed came in, okay? But it was a high-risk trade, I will say so. So let's just say I'm going in for a put right here. The only issue why I say it's kind of greed is because it would have been a really low profit. It would have been low profit because I would have had my stop loss right here going in for a 1-to-1. And I would have gone in for a 90-cent move, but I was like, you know what? I need more of a move. So I spotted another demand here, which is where I put my stop loss, and then I have an exit for a 1-to-1, which usually gets the job done, usually gets me flowing, gets me through. So I put in a sell for take profit right here. That's a $3 move, bro. That's a $3 move. You better have your DTEs at 5, not at 0. Okay. So I put on my stop loss right here, right? We're going to move that for now so I can tell you what my mind was because it took the whole day. This was the most stressful trade. So, you see that price is, you know, price is going, price is moving. And see how price jumps back up? I'll show you why. It is because in the weekly watch list, we see that price bounced off right here. Price bounced off immediately right here, and I didn't have them side to side. So I looked back and I was like, dang, price bounced off all the way back here. And it actually respected the lines. I'm not mad that it respected the lines. Respected the lines, meaning my charting was great. But what did trip me off was that, you know, I was like, my strategy was to the T. It was T'ing, you know? So I'm over here, you know, I put in a sell. Where is it at? Where is it? Did it disappear? My internet acting up again? So let's say I put in a sell. Let's redo that. Okay. Come on, guys. Let's put in that sell. Okay. So I put in a sell to take TP at 539.19 and stop loss up here. My camera battery is about to die, so if this cuts all of a sudden, that's your video. But so I have this on and price is duping me heavy, okay? I get duped right at this moment over here. I get duped and I see that it was a key level, okay? Price went all the way up. I'm like, excuse me? Absolutely not. I'm still in the trade and I'm like, you know what, price, I'm cooked. I'm cooked. But, and guess what? Price hits my stop loss, but I see that price wicked at my stop loss. And I see that from this demand zone, we have a waterfall position right here. And then we have a break of structure immediately. And I remember from a class on supply and demand that you want to take your puts at the break structure and at liquidity sweep, whatever. Is it called liquidity sweep? I don't know, I could have gotten that wrong. But how it wicked out, and I waited for it because I noticed that price was slowing down in that moment, and I just knew that price wanted me to be liquidated. Price wanted me to be liquidated, and I said, not today, sir. Not today. I'm not going to be your liquidation. But joke's on me, sort of, because I'm in contracts that have delta and theta, so it's losing value. So as it's going on, and then I see price has, huge push to the downside, so I'm still in the trade. I'm trying to I'm noticing my emotions and I'm like, wow, Brittany back then would have gotten out of this, because remember that your strategy is put in place for you to do, to find your edge in the market. But that doesn't mean that even if it hits your stop loss, you still can't speculate, because usually sometimes at your stop loss is where people get liquidated and tricked into them, selling or buying, selling their position so that price can move all the way down for the bank people. So I continue. I'm like, okay, as soon as price went up there, you didn't see all my drawings here before because I cleared them off. Is this too bright? But, oh, now it's really dark. But I see that there were higher highs. So I was like, okay, if price can pass these higher highs and break structure, then I know that price is going to go all the way down. I know for a fact that price is going to go all the way down. So I stay in the trade. You see how price hits that higher high and it goes below it. To me, I'm like, okay, it's trying to break that. It's trying to go down. We have sellers that are trying to, move the market. And then we have another point right here. I'm telling you, my charting is tea. It's just about putting it all together and making sure that it all works. Sorry, I'm sniffling, allergies. And, it's going. And I am just like, my delta is like, can we please close the account? Because you're stressing me out. But I'm like, no delta, no theta. We're in this together. We're all in this. And see how price touches those points and reacts at those points, whether it's below or above. See how it even used this as a little bit of resistance? And I feel like that's the market trying to fake people out into selling their position, whether, because they know that they're losing. A lot of people know that when there's a huge downside, it means that eventually there's going to be a huge upside or a change in character. But I'm like, they make use of that. They make use of that psychology. And banks will be like, you know what? We're going to make money off of that. So I was not about to be liquidated, okay? So price, is continuing and, it's kind of teasing me because at this time it's 2 o'clock and I'm exhausted. Like, I'm mentally exhausted. Even if the price didn't go my way, at least I would know that I would break even or, But, price kept on going. And it did. Boom, bam. I ended up exiting that second trade for $14. Mind you, at one point, it was $50. Let me show you. So on my Webull, I'm going to show you where I got in. If this camera doesn't die. I'm just going to be really quick about this because... So I actually, let me tell you, I mistakenly full ported. I didn't mean to get into all the contracts all at once, so I ended up having to transfer like 50, 100, 150 to my trading account so that I could actually get into this trade because I mistakenly full ported on the first one. But on the first trade, I actually did okay. I actually got $44. So I bought the first two contracts for $1.27. Can it focus? For $1.27, and then I got the third contract for $1.30. So that was 300 something, and then I sold all of that for $1.47. So for this second one that I did, I bought this at 73 cents. 73 cents, okay? And I sold it at 83. That's roughly $10 just for this move. Just for this move. Bro, and it's so funny because I was once up. No, I got $19 out of this, I think. It was so funny because at one point I was up $40. And I was like, I could have just closed. At this point right here, I was up $40. I could have just closed, but it's all right. It's a green day, and that's all that matters. Let me show you my P&L for today so that, you know, y'all don't think I'm lying. How do I go through each one? I want to go through each one. Okay, I think if I click SPY and if I click the date, which is today. Yeah. Okay. First trade was... What? Wait, what? $89. What? Wait, what? It's not making any sense. It says $64. Look. What? This is not making any sense. It's telling me that I have $64, that I made $64 today, but then it's showing me two different trades. Anyways, I'm trying to show y'all each trade. Okay, trading P&L. Well, I guess I could just show this one. So today I made a total of 64. Okay, let me see if I can. Yeah, $64.35 for this move, for the two trades that I took today. And yeah, that's the trade that I took today. That's the trade recap. I went through a lot of emotions, but it was a $3 move, which is amazing. Catching a $3 move is insane. Like the only thing that really killed me was my theta. My theta was a 0.7, and I think my delta was a 0.1 or 0.2. So that kind of sucks because for most of the part it was, you know, wasn't going my way. So I just need to pick a better contract next time so I can have more gains and capitalize off of that. But yeah, that's it for the video. Don't mind my bun. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We're at 200 subscribers. I don't know what to do. Does anyone want a $10 gift card to like Chuck E. Cheese or something? A bowling place? I don't know. But thank you so much for subscribing. I really do appreciate it. This was awesome. This was great. Yeah, thanks for following on my journey. I really do hope. This is my passion. My actual job is I'm a data analyst, and I could spend hours upon hours looking at a chart, even if it's just to, you know, make it look cuter, make it look cleaner, you know, pivot tables and whatever. So this is like, I want this to be my full time. I like this, and I'm very passionate about it. So documenting this journey as I started, if you didn't know, like last year, January is when I really started to take my options trading seriously. Like I'm telling you, I read things to the T. I made sure I got into 2 mentorships. First mentorship I got into was Crystal Academy by a woman named Sierra Aaliyah. Love her to death. Follow her on YouTube. Honestly, her way of teaching is actually very, very simple, especially for anyone who doesn't really know anything about trading. And I like to not think, I thought at that moment that I didn't, that I didn't need that much guidance. I was like, I know about trading. Like, I did it for 3 years. If you check in my channel, I studied Forex. One of my first videos is about me, like, studying Forex by this woman that actually on YouTube, Jazz Nicole. When she brought out her Forex course, I went on it and I was like, oh my God, I really just wanted something to replace my Uber Eats at the time, because I was doing that on the side of my job just to get more income. And truthfully, honestly, best decision that I ever made. So my battery's about to die. But yeah, I took a mentorship last year, Crystal Academy, amazing, 10 out of 10 would recommend. I took that mentorship and I actually doubled what I invested into taking the mentorship. So I definitely would, refer that. And then I also took a second mentorship with one of her mods. His name is Jaden. And I did that for futures. So, and I was doing good in futures. I got funded multiple times. My issue was that I was over trading. But with options, I love that I don't get the opportunity to overtrade, and I only get in now when I see my setup. Futures was too tempting. It was too tempting. And I still do it now. I actually have 2 accounts that I was going to try on. I actually tried to do this move on it, but it just didn't work out. So I don't know if I'm still going to be continued. That's why my Discord is actually called Faith in Futures, because I wanted to focus more on futures and do a little bit like a Bible study, but I didn't want to focus on creating, I don't know, I didn't want to mix up my faith and money together, even though it's not wrong, but that's a whole nother conversation. But yeah, that's basically how I got into options trading, because I just wanted to make a little extra money on the side. Now I'm passionate about it, I'm obsessed about it, and I want it to be like my main thing. I want to be a full-time day trader, and this channel is just documenting the journey of me becoming that. So, well, technically I am a full-time day trader and a full-time 9-to-5 job worker. So I still like my job. And, I enjoy both. So thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to join the Discord, where I post these every day, and I also do weekly back testing. I actually need to do that right now. I do weekly back testing, monthly. I need to start that because I need to do the whole of last month, which is amazing actually with my strategy. It was great. There were a lot of big returns on that. Paper trading, of course. Back testing. So, oh God. Thank you so much for watching this video. I will see you in